Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rise Up Market Watch. Tonight with me, your host, William Watson. It is February 9th, 8th? It's the 9th. Hope everyone is doing well. I see folks in the chat. Everyone, Bitcoin had a mostly kind of sort of green today, a little flat. Hopefully some people were having some fun on the markets, making a few trades. I hope you made money. Good morning from Singapore. Good morning from Boston to you, Benny Dora. And what up, Sonoran? Yo, Truth Seeker Zeus. Eric Reyes, 818. Hello. Do you think we go below 60K? I think a rebound back to 85 is inevitable. A lot of good comments in the chat. Why doesn't anyone talk about Banker? We've actually talked about it on this show before. And some saying we have Elliott Wave comments in the chat as well. Hey, you grew up in Worcester? Worcester, Worcester. Yeah, man. And we have people from Miami as well. Hope we all are doing great. Tonight, it is just myself. Hello, Bearded. Getting comments and getting hellos from everybody. It's so nice to see. It's so nice that you guys all tune in for all of our shows all at the different times. So tonight, we will be taking a look at charts. In short, stock market looks bad to me. Bitcoin, I thought Bitcoin is going to cool off more today. I think that cool off might be happening right now, tonight into the morning. But I do think it has a solid chance to have a little bit of a rebound, maybe to 75K or 81K. After that, I don't really know. And metals look pretty okay for right now. So we'll see. So I'll dive into a few charts, everybody. I see a bunch of questions coming through. I know I already answered a few of them. So without further ado, what we'll do is I'll dive into a few different charts. We'll take a look at them, and then I'll take suggestions from the crowd, whether that's, hey, what are your thoughts on this altcoin? Hey, can you chart this one particular coin? What's your favorite soda? You know, whatever. We'll take any questions. So let me share my screen here, and let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. So for those of you who are on TikTok watching live, you can't see at the moment, but I will make it available to you. I just want to decide what time frame I want to do today, at least to start. So I'm going to pull up the hourly candle here first, and I'm going to show two things. In fact, I'm actually going to simplify this screen just a little bit more. Okay, let me let y'all on TikTok in on this. So this is Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. And what I've been watching is I've been watching this channel forming here. You can see we got into it, hit some resistance, hit support, hit resistance, hit support. And a pretty obvious trade to me will be, hey, do we go down, confirm this as resistance, and then get sent lower? Or can Bitcoin work its way up, hold this as support, and then launch your way upwards? In either scenario, that's your long, and that's your short, okay? That's what you're playing. If you are listening to this in podcast land, these current prices would be right around, if you were to set a short, about $68.5 thousand. If you're to set a long, you're looking for Bitcoin to get above $72.7 thousand or so. So that's your long, that's your short opportunity, and that's how you kind of play this. Now, I would selfishly, what I wanted to have happen was something a little bit more like this. I wanted to see Bitcoin come down, crash down like this, have this little bit of a recovery, and then come down and set in a higher low. If it had set in a higher low like this with a clear support line right here, the thing that I like seeing is my Moxie indicator right here at the bottom of my screen is close to flipping long. This pattern right here would be called an elf shoe pattern. It's like one of the easiest longs in the game. And if you get a long on the Moxie indicator and you get this elf shoe pattern, it's pretty much go time. It's pretty much go time, at least in the short term, right? So that's what I was hoping for selfishly. Another thing that I was watching on my charts, particularly at the 1 hour time frame, because I really just kind of I was trying to see what Bitcoin's really deciding to do in the short term is, what platform do I use to short or long crypto? I used Drift protocol over on Solana. Personally, that's what I've been doing. What was that? I share your videos with my mom all the time. Buzz for 2024, dude, that makes me really happy. That makes me really happy. I love it when we include our moms in the stuff. But here's the other line. So this white diagonal line here for Bitcoin, you can see we got above it, held it as support, held it. As soon as we broke this, you had a quick short opportunity. And now it looks like we're starting to just kind of lose some momentum here. If we zoom in on the hourly time frame, we are currently below the major exponential moving averages, and we're seeing some weakness here. However, we're also seeing fair value gaps. So I've gotten some question, hey, what do you think Bitcoin's going to do right now? I don't have a real clear sense. If this hourly candle that I just showed for the folks on TikTok and folks who are watching it on the big screen, if this hourly candle is held below the 55 exponential moving average, this blue line, then, you know, we're going to come down, probably test the bottom of this channel. And if we do that, we have a really good opportunity to come down, you know, and try to set a higher low and maybe have that L-shoe pattern that I talked about. I would love to see that if we get a long signal on the Moxie. But again, we don't really have a clear answer on anything for Bitcoin in the short term unless it breaks 68.5 thousand or it gets above about 72.7 thousand. So those are the magic numbers you're looking for. If we talk bullish scenario, how, if, you know, we get above that channel, you know, like how high could Bitcoin go? If we look here, these blank spots, and let me show my screen so that you guys can see. These blank candles on our screens is from a tool called imbalance. And what the imbalance tool shows is it shows where there are fair value gaps on the assets chart. It's when price moves without a lot of volume and kind of like a gap, like future price action wants to go. So you had a fair value gap here, future price action moved up and basically closed it. So we have some fair value gaps up higher. And the other thing that I wanted to show you all is we have this gap right here on Bitcoin's daily chart, which is all the way up at $81,705. So if Bitcoin can get above that, like, what was it? What did I say? 72.7 is what I said. 72.7K. What was it? Let me see here. Yeah, if Bitcoin can get above really $74,000, then you'll have a good move up for Bitcoin up to 81K in my personal opinion, okay? You get 74K, 73K, you should get a move up to about 81K for Bitcoin. And potentially as high as $88,000 if you want to start taking out all of those fair value gaps we have. Berman, bought the Mox indicator thing is legit. Yeah, it's really good for short-term timeframes. I'd say it's not the best, it's not the worst for the daily time frame, or it's not very good on the weekly. But the Moxie indicator, this indicator down here at the bottom of my screen for those watching on YouTube and the like, this one here, it's a really good measurement of momentum, really meant for like the 8-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. It's oddly accurate on the 15-minute chart, which is just kind of crazy. So like, it's a really good tool for a day trader where you can put like a lot of weight on it. And it's more so an ancillary tool for swing traders, okay? So still definitely useful, but it's not something you can totally rely on. I would say it has about a 60% accuracy where it'll show like, hey, you should long, hey, you should short, if you go just with it. But hey, it's right more often than it is wrong. So use it in pairing with other things. Tell us how to identify liquidity during order flow. Liquidity during order flow. I don't know. I'd go ask ChatGPT. Maybe I just don't understand your question. Uncle T, am I a day trader? No, but I've been doing a little bit more leverage trading. I historically have made money in crypto, not day trading, but doing swing trading over months and months and months. I'll take a position and I won't sell it for like 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, 14 months, 16 months, something like that. And I've only recently started playing with a little bit of leverage trading here and there, in and out of a position in about like a half hour, or in and out of a position after a handful of hours, just because I know a lot of people are in the leverage market and I want to learn a little bit more as to how I could craft a leverage strategy that I think would be really good for beginners so that I can share that knowledge. So that's all I'm doing. Zilla, 55K or lower, your thoughts? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. 55K or lower. We have this line on Bitcoin's chart that goes back to 2023. What is it? Yeah, to 2022, actually. And as long as this line's respected, you shouldn't have a 55K Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin monthly chart. And actually, I'm going to, although, look, you have these fair value gaps all the way down here. I mean, hell, shit, you have one all the way down to 19,000, but not all gaps get filled. So you have Bitcoin's chart here going all the way back to 2022. And you have this line of support that, for the most part, I mean, we didn't even touch it, but held as support here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red monthly candles in a row. There's only one time in history where we've had more than that. I don't know if we get 55K. Now, that's my answer just looking at Bitcoin, okay? How I could see us getting there is actually looking at the stock market. And the stock market is totally kind of hosed. But I see a few more questions coming in. Did you say 72 to 73K, then possibly move up to fill those gaps? Yeah, the magic number on the hourly time frame is 72.7K. On the daily time frame, which is a little bit more impactful, you want to see Bitcoin above 74K. If that happens, you have a pretty good shot of Bitcoin going up to 81,000 to fill that gap. Do you do mentoring? If so, how much? Love your videos and your personality, man. Hey, Nadafka, really appreciate that, brother. I do. However, I am so freaking busy because I do this influencer stuff. I, co-host the Rise Up morning shows, and I also am a supply chain consultant sales guy for a tech company in the supply chain space. So I'm busy, and right now, I don't know if I have the time to do mentorship. But once things calm down a little bit, I'll open up my Calendly link again and offer mentorship through the Rise Up morning show community links. So if you want to join the community, you can join the community for free. Just head on over to rumshq.com. That's rumshq.com. And get into the circle community, totally free to join. All the information's there and all that kind of stuff. I'm in the club blowing perp with my shades on. Well, shaboinky. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, Will, any altcoins aside from ETH and Sol you've been eyeing during this bear market? Yeah, I'll talk about that, and then we'll address the stock market, which is the chart I have up on the screen here. So the altcoins I've been looking at. So I've been buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, but you said other than that. I'm interested in Uniswap. I'm interested in Polygon, but Polygon needs to vote in their revenue buyback and burn policy for me to really be interested. I'm interested in Sky Protocol, which used to be, I always forget the name of it. What did Sky Protocol used to be? Bearded, I know you're here. Brother. What up, Magic? What was Sky Protocol? Oh my God, it's like one of the classic Maker. Thank you so much, Adnan. It was MakerDAO. And Magic, thank you. So I'm interested in those. There was also Hyperliquid. I'm very interested in Hyperliquid as well. And I'm blanking. From a meme coin, the only meme coin I'm interested in is Pengu. Otherwise, you can miss me with all the meme coins. And what was it? Home was the other one that was like making decent revenue. And there was one other one. I bet you see Aster have a comeback too, I bet. I like Chainlink, but I'm not like in love with Chainlink as an investment, but I do like it. I'm also interested in Aave if they turn it into something other than a governance token, but I think they're a long way from that. Syrup! Gosh, Magic, you are just out here on fire, just saving my ass whenever I forget stuff, dude. It's hilarious. But yeah, I really like Syrup, which is from Maple Finance. Anyway, on the screen here, we have the stock market, and I think the stock market looks not so great. I'll show everybody here on TikTok in a second, but you can see a very obvious eyeball test here. When we take a look at the stock market on the daily time frame. Oh, hilarious. Oh, I had drawn this such a long time ago. Hang on a second. Let me delete that. Yeah, remove. So when you have something going up and to the right like this, you can see the loss of bullish momentum here. And I'll show everybody on TikTok real quick, but you can see this right here. It's like literally rounding over in front of your eyes. And so this is the stock market, everybody, on TikTok, for those of you who may not look at the S&P 500. And you can see this loss of momentum here. Again, I'll get rid of my brush. You can see it curving over with your own eyes, this rounding over pattern. The stock market wants to start to tip over, in my personal opinion. However, the past 2 days, it actually had a decent recovery. So it fell below the 55-day exponential moving average, had a nice little recovery up here, but let's poke some holes in this bullishness. You have a fair value gap right here. So future price action wants to come down and fill this. At the same time, let's look at our indicators. And I want to show the Moxie indicator. The Moxie indicator has had bearish momentum gaining strength. So we have divergence here. We have price moving up and to the right, but we see that it is absolutely rolling over here. The bullishness is losing momentum on the price, and we have bearish momentum on our Moxie indicator. That tells us that we should expect the stock market to start to correct. And at the very least, that should be the stock market falling to the 200 exponential moving average, which is a 6.3% fall. I've made a video on this. Like, there are reasons why I think it's worse, but you want to see that 6.3% fall in the stock market happen first. And if that happens, I don't think crypto does too well. So all of that was to answer the question, hey, do you think like a 55K or lower Bitcoin is possible? When I look at just Bitcoin's chart, I don't necessarily see it. When I look at the stock market, and then I think about how the impact of the stock market would have on Bitcoin, yeah, that becomes a little bit possible. So then that begs the question, what would cause the stock market to go down? Why is the stock market losing that momentum? Why is the Moxie indicator starting to show a grabbing of the market by bearish pressure despite price still going up? It's because of the situation that the Fed is in right now, which is a really bad position. The most recent data we got is really bad for the US economy because it was a really high PPI inflation report combined with really bad labor data. And if China takes Taiwan, yeah, also that would also throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into the stock market and into crypto as well. So now you have the market that was going up and to the right was pricing in a lot of additional rate cuts from the Fed. However, you also have the new head of the Fed who's been appointed by President Trump, who is a policy hawk. He's not a big let's cut rates kind of a guy. And with him in place, combined with the labor market not doing well and inflation coming in hot, the Fed isn't going to really be able to do anything. So we're not going to get those rate cuts. And unless, of course, the most recent data that comes out, which is this Friday, is way better. This Friday, we get CPI inflation report. That will have a massive impact on the stock market, and it'll have a huge impact on Bitcoin. If the CPI inflation report this Friday comes in hotter than expected, just like the PPI inflation, you will see markets just start to melt again. It's going to be aggressive. However, if that CPI data report on Friday comes out and it's actually like pretty solid and like things don't seem that bad and maybe it's under, the expected amount, you could see markets immediately shoot up and rally because they're like, hey, we might have rate cuts coming, baby. So, we'll see. William Watson for Fed chair. I mean, how much does it pay? Does it pay good money? If it pays good money, guys, have President Trump nominate me for the role, and I'll take over. But let's see. I did get a question here. Where can I buy that Moxie indicator? It's not my indicator, but you can go to Simpler Trading. That is simplertrading.com. You can reach out to one of their reps or contact people, and it does cost $500. And unfortunately, I don't have any kind of referral link or anything to give you a discount. I'm sorry. But it costs $500, and you do get 3 or 4 other indicators with it as well. I just don't necessarily find them to be super useful. Fed chair, as long as you can still do Rise Up Morning Show. Can you imagine Alex's rants then? Yeah, except, and then it would just be me looking at Alex and being like, Alex, I got to wait for the data to come in, dude. Got to wait for the data. But that's the stock market. So the stock market looks very top heavy and looks like it's about to roll over. And when I say about, maybe next week or this Friday. One thing I haven't looked at is I want to look at gold. Let me take a look. Let's take a look at gold together. It's been a little bit since I popped up that chart. Let me just share my screen here. Let's have a fresh look at gold, shall we? This is gold in the hourly. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, I mean, gold's doing okay. Gold's kind of doing pretty solid right here. Let me show you guys on TikTok. Am I bullish for the week? For this week, you might have a little bit of a correction tonight, maybe, but I do think like Bitcoin just kind of looks like it wants to go to like 75K or 81K, unless the Friday's inflation data comes out and totally screws things up. So here's gold. Here's gold. Right? Make sure that people on TikTok can see. And what I like that gold is doing is it is now, and let me get rid of the imbalance indicator. It's above this like neckline, like right about here. Right? It's above this zone it was trying to fight itself in, and now it's starting to turn it into support. Right here, I mean, gold kind of looks like it wants to do something kind of like that. If we pull up the weekly chart, do we have anything here? Oh, wait a second. Let me get this. Here we go. Let's see. I mean, momentum super strong. We're so overbought, though. It's just such a scary asset to buy here. It's crazy. Monthly chart. Oh my God. Gold. Jesus. I mean, it should correct, but I don't know. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. Good God. Okay. The monthly chart is stupid. The daily chart's the only thing that makes sense. If gold holds this line here, which is roughly, I mean, that's basically 5,000. That's basically 4,950. If it holds that, it could have a bounce up and at least retest the high here at the very least. And, maybe it's a double top or not. But copper's chart looks pretty good. Silver's chart looks, if I remember correctly, silver's chart also looks pretty good too. Silver. No, silver looks a little worse. If silver gets back above 83.82 cents, then you'll have a rally in silver for sure as well. And copper looked interesting as also. So quick summary, Bitcoin's chart looks like it's kind of like trying to figure out what it wants to do. If it gets above 73, 74K, you could totally have a move to the 81, 85K range. If it falls below, let's see, what was the other number I had? What was it, 68K? Yeah, if it falls below 68.7K, you could have a retest of the lows near 60K or like 63K. The stock market looks very top heavy, although I do not expect a major correction in the stock market until that CPI inflation data report comes out this Friday. However, that could totally get pushed off. If that report comes out and the data is actually surprisingly good, then maybe the stock market continues to rally, but I just don't see it on the charts. And metals right now are in an interesting position, maybe to long or buy some spot. So there it is. That hairline, holy. I have a widow's peak. Thought you liked SWE. I do like SWE. I don't love SWE, but I like it. I like it way more than most layer ones. I like my Ethereum. I like my Solana. I like SWE more than I think I like Avalanche as an investment, as like a environment to use, like a solution, I think I like Avalanche more, to be honest. Who do you get your news? So like how or who do you get my news from? Every single morning, the first thing I check is BBC. I don't like to check an American. I know like they're left leaning, but I do like to check the BBC because international news is at least a little bit safe from the normal bullshit that American news agencies try to continue to just like peddle to us. So I'll wake up, I'll check BBC, and there's usually like some kind of financial news there that I like, and like sometimes there is if it's big. And then what I'll do is I'll go to Twitter, and on Twitter I follow a whole bunch of different accounts, and I just kind of see what people are talking about. And typically I can give like 5 or 6 scrolls on Twitter and get like, okay, there's nothing today, or there's something. And yeah. And then I'll typically see some things on Twitter. I'll typically put it into ChatGPT and be like, is this real or fake? Or I'll put it into Google and I'll see if there's an article from like someone reputable that's actually saying if it's real or not. And that's typically how I get my news. And if I could recommend some news sources, let's see. Let me go on Twitter right now and see if it... from a financial analyst standpoint, Jesse Cohen is good. Let me share my screen here. But like, as at times, also guys, just remember, like, if I say someone's a good source of financial information, every now and again, they'll post some political stuff too. And whether you're on the left or right, I follow people on both sides because I don't really give a shit about all that. I just kind of care about, hey, do you have some good information for me? I'll take it. So like every now and again, Jesse will post like some very pro-Israel stuff. If that irks you to the point where you hate it, then not for you. But I can tell you about 99% of the time, it's all financial content. Just like when you follow me, sometimes I get a little political, but 99% of the time, it's not. But Jesse Cohen, right here, he has some really good content. Let's see, anyone else here I'd recommend that's on my timeline? Benjamin Cohen is interesting. He's fun. He's a lightning rod for some things, along with James Wynn and the White Whale as well. Although the White Whale actually posts helpful content, so I'm a fan of that. Let's see. Obviously following Michael Saylor, and another one that I recommend a lot is the Kobisi letter over on Twitter. Every now and again they'll post something and they'll be like, hey, that wasn't real. But again, that's 9 times out of 10 they actually post like some really great data. The Kobisi letter and Jesse Cohen, I feel like I get the most like useful macro data from. Is there a third one who I can recommend? No, I think that's about it. So yeah, that's what I do. That's how I get my no. Did you mean to share your screen? I shared my screen, Lady... Wait, what's your name? Lady Liquid Long Term. That's a really fun name. I shared my screen on YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook. But I didn't share it here. So anyway, again, on Twitter, Jesse Cohen, good for information, JESSECOHEN, really good financial analyst. And then the other one was the Kobisi letter, THE for the, and then however the hell you spell Kobisi, KOBEISSI letter. If you type in the Kobisi letter, I'm sure you'll be able to find it on Twitter. M7 Mdem Sharaf, have you made any spot buys? I have not. I did try though. I had a spot order for actually a pretty sizable position for me at $59,000, except Bitcoin only fell to 59.7K, and so I just missed it. And I would have been up a pretty penny. Let me tell you, I would have been up a pretty penny, and I've only thought about it every day since. But I do have daily spot buys that I purchase every day for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana for a coffee's worth of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin falls below 70K again, and technically it's done this since I said this, but like in a meaningful way, like Bitcoin really below 70,000, I'll double that. I'll buy 2 cups of coffee of Bitcoin, 2 cups of coffee of Ethereum, 2 cups of coffee of Solana. And then if Bitcoin goes below 30K, I'll just start buying it. I'll just start buying it with bucket loads of money. That's what I'll do. Bucket loads for me. Maybe it's not bucket loads for you. Who knows? I don't know your life. Why do you use the 55-day MA? I've noticed you use unpopular MAs. So, Georgios, I don't use moving averages. I use exponential moving averages. And maybe I'm getting a little nitpicky here, but exponential moving averages and moving averages are different. Exponential moving averages, the ones that I use are the 12, the 21, the 55, and the 200. I'll actually share my screen here just so we have a visual for some of the folks. Yeah, see, there are these lines that I have on the chart here. This, teal, the yellow, the blue, the orange, and then I use one moving average. Jesus is coming soon. Woohoo! Well, that's nice. He was a nice guy. And I also use the 200 simple moving average. So again, that's for exponential moving averages. I use the 12, the 21, the 55, the 200, and then I use the 200 simple moving average. I do feel like that for people who use exponential moving averages, I feel like I use popular ones. Yeah, switching to YouTube. Yeah, if you guys want to see the bigger screen and stuff, you can switch over to YouTube, go to the Rise Up Morning Show YouTube page, and you'll be able to find it, or follow us on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to like and click and leave a comment and hit that bell icon and fucking, or don't, whatever you want to do. But yeah, those are the exponentials I move. Do you ever do Bitcoin options? Funny enough, I did recently. I had a 50x. I was doing some 50x shorts and longs on Bitcoin over the past couple of days, and I was just having a good time with it. I won every trade. It was also a lot of fun. I just started with $100, and I was just like, oh, this is fun. I shouldn't do this with a lot of money, but with $100, 50x leverage for a quick little trade, make $200, $300 here or there. Yeah, sure, that's fun. William Bro, watching charts ended up with glasses, man. Yeah, it's nighttime, and these are not real glasses. They're blue light glasses. So it's just to help make sure that my brain activity isn't all scrambled by all this screen light right before I go to bed, because it ruins your circadian rhythm. So my eyesight's still 20/20 actually. Nice, I can still pilot a fighter jet. But no, I just want to make sure my circadian rhythm's all good. Will Bitcoin go to 50K for sure? For sure. Nothing's for sure, brother. But if the stock market rolls over the way I'm worried it's going to, then yeah, you could have Bitcoin back in our golden pocket range. And also, we spoke about this before earlier this morning, but Bitcoin has a tendency every bear market to fall into this golden pocket range, with that golden pocket being exactly where this wick got bought up, right? So this is the 200-week exponential moving average, and this is the 200-week simple moving average. And it's an amazing place to be buying some Bitcoin, because historically, Bitcoin doesn't go much lower. Now, this is a really bad bear market, but you had Bitcoin fall into this pocket. It fell below it. It was an amazing time to buy when it was in the pocket and just below it. And then, Bitcoin blew up. Also, you have Bitcoin here, fell into our buying pocket, our ideal buying pocket, just below it, ended up being pretty great. Back in this bear market, Bitcoin fell exactly into our buy pocket, ended up being pretty good. You had an opportunity to make some money and then buy some more again, and the market did great. And I think you guys know where this is going next, but you had the opportunity to buy in the ideal buy target in the buy pocket. You had an opportunity to buy just below, and then Bitcoin did great. It broke the screen, So coming back over to recent price here, I would not be shocked, and it would be totally normal for Bitcoin to maybe do something kind of like this, chill in here for a little bit, maybe even dip below before, blasting up and onwards. And that could be well into the 50,000 range. That would be totally normal for Bitcoin to do. That'd be totally normal. What if it breaks the pocket? If it breaks the pocket, buy. Buy once a week, potentially for a whole year. Those little ideal buy zones that I showed you, one of them lasted for 2 weeks. One of them lasted for an entire year, over a year, actually. So, these bear markets can end quickly, and they can feel like they never end at all. You never know what you're going to get. But if you do get an opportunity to buy Bitcoin below that ideal buy zone, which if you just have a numbers, if you're just looking at Bitcoin price, That's currently between, actually, let me get it exactly for you. That is 68,358 at the high side of the pocket, down to 58,239. So 68K to 58K. That's the ideal buy pocket with an opportunity to go down. This music is stabbing my ears. Oh, is the music too loud? You guys should have told me. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Nope. Nope. Where is it? Where's the soundboard? Ah, yes. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I'm fixing it or making it worse. Anyway. Wait a second. I can change this. Media assets, background music. Let me make it a little bit quieter for you in case I was blasting your ear holes. So anyway, that's my personal opinion. Again, buy pocket, 68K, 58K. If you see an opportunity to fall below it, you're good. You're golden. You got a really good opportunity there to buy some Bitcoin, put it away for cold storage, for long-term storage, and make a lot of money as long as you're patient. What indicators were those? Oh, the indicators I have on my chart all the time are the stochastic RSI, the relative strength index, and then the Moxie indicator. Hang on a second. I feel like I totally messed up my soundboard now. Well, say I love you. This week will be green, as you said in your video. I still think this week ends green for us. But yeah, I still think this week is green for us. Particularly if Bitcoin's able to get above 72,000. If Bitcoin can get above 72,000, you're just in like a nice ideal buy zone. And as I covered in my videos, the thing that really gives me a decent amount of confidence is what we see for Bitcoin on the weekly chart, because you just have like a really nice, that's just a really nice wick. There's a really nice wick on last week's candle, guys. A nice strong wick. Yeah, just good stuff right there. Good stuff. I think you see a rally. All right, guys, we'll take some questions. ETH or Solana to give better returns. Ethereum has a harder supply. Granted, it's infinite, but it has a burn mechanic and a revenue buyback as well. But or a burn mechanic, I should say. It doesn't have a revenue buyback. Solana has worse inflation, but more people are using. More people still use Ethereum. But Solana has a smaller market cap. I'm still going to say Solana probably gives you better gains, better percentage gains, unless Ethereum puts in place a revenue buyback and burn policy. Oh, the lines that were the golden pocket, it was the 200-week exponential moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. Those were the two lines on the weekly chart, the weekly time frame, mind you. Those were the lines that give the ideal buy pocket. And then if you dip just below, you start buying Bitcoin. Is SWI and Ondo and Chainlink a good investment for the long run? So SWI, Ondo, and Chainlink. SWI, Ondo, and Chainlink. It's hard to say because they're all like cuspers, if you will. They're all kind of in contention for a long-term investment. Because like SWI could just totally go the way of the dodo. Ondo could have a ton of competition come in, like it's going to, and could totally unseat it as the king of real-world assets right now. That could totally happen. And damn, what was the other one you mentioned? Chainlink. Chainlink will always be useful. Chainlink is the one out of those three where it's like, okay, that one's going to be around. That one's not. The odds of someone unseating Chainlink as the #1 Oracle solution in crypto, very low, much lower than Ondo, in my personal opinion. Thoughts on Aerodrum? I like Aerodrum. For those of you who don't, still bearish long-term on Bitcoin. I'm not bearish long-term on Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every day. If you're thinking like mid-term, Yeah, I'm bearish on Bitcoin until I see a confirmed bottom on like the weekly time frame. We don't have that yet. And what was the question? Oh, thoughts on Arrow? Yes. So Aerodrome has a change to it where it has a more aggressive buying back of its supply. It has an aggressive daily inflation, but a lot more of its revenue that it makes is being used to purchase supply and reduce supply. So that's nice to see. Aerodrome is still making a ton of money and is still positioned very clearly as the #1 decentralized exchange over on Base. And I expect Base to still do very, very, very well. So I still like Aerodrome, but you might see Aerodrome back at like 8 cents or 12 cents or something like that. Can we pump above 90K before full bear? Aiden, we're in full bear. Let me check over here on YouTube. Here we go. Can you also say a good buying opportunity for Solana? Let's take a look at the chart here. Let me go over to Solana. Let me share my screen on the big screen here. So let's see here. We're on the 1 hour time frame. That's not going to help us. Let's go to the weekly. If I look at Solana on the weekly time frame here, let me get rid of this imbalance. I see a very strong break below the 200-week exponential moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. So I'm not seeing strength on Solana's chart. And oh, right. This is Solana's chart. It's not. Oh man, it's not great. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do something real quick here on TikTok. We have cooking with the gasoline. So as I was showing before, on the weekly chart for Solana, you have a break of the 200-week exponential and the 200-week simple moving average. There's no strength here. And the other thing as well is that you have all of this empty space here between price action, where we currently are sliding, and where price action was before. Assets don't like empty space in charts. They really, really don't. Oh God, yeah. In Solana, Solana looks terrible. Solana really looks terrible. Strong breaks of the 55-month exponential moving average as well. And if you want a good place to look to buy Solana, it's right here. It's right, bam. Because what we have here is you have an inflection point built on 3 monthly candles back here all the way to June 2021. You have the top of the head of this, you have the top of the head of this candle, you have the bottom of the head of this candle, or the bottom of the body, I should say. And then you have an inflection point here, here, an inflection point here as well. So Solana at $36 and basically 90 cents is a very important range for Solana. And that is the first major area of resistance that we see for Solana. Ooh, except right here as well, which is $60. In fact, price got pretty damn close to it. We also found support here. Let's see, wait a second. Was this? Hang on. Bear with me. Let's use our Fibonacci retracement tool. Yes, of course. Okay. So this found support on one of the lines of our Fibonacci retracement tool right here at $70. Okay. Now, I would love to buy Solana, and guess what? I will. In this little pocket here. This little pocket would be a lot of fun. Which would be between $60 and $36. But just keep in mind that you might, oh my God, could you imagine being able to buy Solana at $18? That can't happen. $19 for Solana. Could you imagine being able to buy Solana for $19? No way. Can it? Maybe. Could you imagine? Anyway. I would start, if you hadn't bought Solana before, I would start buying Solana at $60. And then if it hit $35, I would really start to increase how aggressively I was buying Solana. And if it hit $19, oh, wait. Was I not sharing my screen here this entire time? Oh my God, I wasn't sharing my screen. Oh no, I wasn't sharing my screen on the big screen. Here we go. I made it so that people on TikTok could see, but not the folks on the big screen. Oh, shame. I was sharing it. You were? I know, on TikTok. Anyway, these are the buy zones. So let's see. That is $60. This is $36.90. And then we have, what is this? Let's just say $20 just to give ourselves round numbers here, because otherwise, no, it's 19. It's $19. It's $19. Those are the ideal buy zones there. Okay, right in there. Oh wait, I could just point my phone at the camera. No, it looks terrible. People would be like, wow, Will, you couldn't even chill out for like the good AI version of yourself. I'm like, no, I couldn't. I'm sorry. It's a bear market. What was that question? Isn't Link, Ethereum, Solana better than Bitcoin long-term in terms of rewards and risk? Depends on how you view it. So can you get better returns with Ethereum, Solana, and Chainlink? Maybe. Yeah, you probably can. In a bull market, for sure. Yeah, in a bull market, for sure. But the thing with Bitcoin is that you don't have to... I don't have to think about it. I just go like, cool, this is to buy Bitcoin. There's no competition for Bitcoin. There's a lot of competition for Ethereum and Solana. There is competition for Chainlink, but it's not really anywhere in the ballpark of like really being competitive. But you still have, I mean, you know, like Solana hasn't hit a new all-time high on its chart, right? Actually, no, it's not true. It hit the all-time high January of 2025. Am I on the right? Yeah, January in 2025, it hit an all-time high in the dollar, but I don't think it did in the pound. Ethereum hit an all-time high, but it was barely an all-time high. And I think that was the point I was trying to make. Yeah, Ethereum barely hit an all-time high in August of 2025. That was against the dollar. It didn't against the pound or the euro. And so like, that's one thing, you know, like I love Ethereum, I love Solana, but I like Bitcoin more. It gives you much more confident all-time highs, right? So there is much more risk to buying and hodling even Ethereum and Solana as compared to Bitcoin. But if you're in a bull market, like you're confirmed bull market, and it's like, all right, cool, market's on easy mode. Yeah, you'll make more money with Ethereum and Solana for sure. Are we in a bear market? You bet your butt we are, Renee. We are absolutely in a bear market. That was an interesting question from Georgios. Does February seasonality play a role in your thesis for SPY to continue down and chop? No, I don't really let much seasonality play into my analysis of the charts, simply because a lot of the times I feel like the seasonality swings like don't work out, particularly with crypto. And also this past year, like seasonality trends that we've seen, particularly in crypto, just like don't work. I know you said SPY, but no, I mean like sell in May, go away. Like sometimes like it works a little bit more than it doesn't. And in the crypto space, it's perfectly 50-50. And it didn't work out this past time. So I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to seasonality. Are we going to altcoin season or no? Says Mandy Smith Flemons over on Facebook. Mandy, the answer is no. You're going to have rallies of altcoins in this bear market that will outperform Bitcoin. But no, now is not the time to be looking for altcoin season. Now is the time to be making quick trades, or better, do research on what things you actually believe in, what things you think could be valuable, and spend time putting a plan together for when the bull market does return. I want $19 Solana, says Tally Trades. Goddamn right we do. When and why did you start using the Moxie indicator? I had a friend who was on a pilgrimage to like learn every single type of technical analysis, and he's in the Rise Up community. And he told me about it. He was like, oh, dude, this is like really helping me. I think you should give it a shot. And so he sent me some videos on it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I got in contact with Simpler Trading. I bought it. I bought this, I feel like it was a year ago now at this point. Maybe it was less, maybe it was more. Hard to say. But I've certainly found it to be a very useful tool. It's helped me. Thoughts on Pump instead of an actual meme coin, and can you chart? Pump will probably still do well when we have a bull market go by, because the meme coin casino on Solana will probably just start ripping again. It'll probably just start ripping again. And then Pump.fun probably does okay. And fine, we'll chart Pump. All right, let me just change the silver chart into Pump. Actually, let's not do USD. Let's do USDT. And let me flip this around so everybody can see. Okay, here we go. Well, certainly looks like a meme coin. That's for damn sure. Pump.fun USDC spot. I mean, that's a double bottom. That's actually, I hate to say that, that's really nice. So we have a clear double bottom on Pump.fun, and it's clear because this right here is a very aggressive bullish candle for Pump. Long wick, thick green body on top. We love that. We love that. If I come to the weekly chart though, the weekly chart, I see what I don't like about the weekly chart is hang on a second, where is it? It's this. I don't like that Pump.fun was slammed below the 12-week exponential moving average. And we're definitely setting up to try to have an opportunity for Pump.fun to go higher here. But my gut tells me that with the stock market likely looking like it's about to roll over, Bitcoin has a history of falling into our golden pocket and even dipping below it for a little bit of time at the very least. I you know, right here, the golden pocket right over here is what I was talking about. I just feel like Pump.fun's just gonna break through this, is what I personally believe. Would change my mind on Pump.fun if it's able to get up and hold the 12-week exponential moving average as support, which it has failed to do here. And if the 12-week exponential moving average existed here, it broke it here, smashed it back down here, smashed it down here, smashed it down here. Like, that's the key. If Pump.fun gets above this, then, you know, it's gangbusters. However, Pump.fun was only going to have a gangbusters opportunity if it's like an altcoin season, right? And that's just, we're just not there. We're just not there in any way, shape, or form. And it's impossible to say how low down Pump could possibly go. Sorry, I keep looking at samurai swords, then your mustache, lol. Nice. I mean, I kind of do the same thing as well. Although my eyes tend to go to the kind of taken apart, you know, Game Boy here on the wall. That's usually what takes my mind. Can we hit a double top like in 2021? It's a very different market. In 2021, we had like super low rates, or like rates are being cut. Inflation wasn't a problem. Unemployment wasn't a problem. US labor market was good. The US dollar was strong. Although a weaker dollar actually would technically help, but that's not really helping us right now. The bond market wasn't on fire. We weren't dealing with Japanese carry trade situation. Yeah, no, the answer is no. The answer is no. What is the golden pocket between what indicators? The 200-week exponential moving average, the 200-week simple moving average. That's the golden pocket. Historically, Bitcoin does dip below it, can dip below it for a week or two or an entire year. So, you know, be careful. Have patience. Give a quick update on your 5K challenge. Oh, that 5K challenge. Oh, it got liquidated. I took $5,000 and turned it into $18.3 thousand in 5 or 6 days of trading. And then it got liquidated in a position where I shorted Hyperliquid. Entire market went red. except for hyperliquid. I didn't set a stop loss. So, you know, those $18.3 thousand went bye-bye. But, you know, that's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes you got to learn lessons. Magic Green, it makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money. Does Pump.Fun have a revenue buyback policy? Pump a coin? Oh, yeah. Pump.Fun is a coin. It is the coin for... I don't even want to talk about it. It's where people go and they make meme coins and they gamble and they lose all of their money forever. That's that place. It makes a lot of money. Oh, you said, oh, I've seen that one. Thought they already pumped it up. Now, not so much fun to wait for a big rise and hype it over. It's something just to keep your eyes on, Brandon. Pump.Fun is always something to keep your eyes on because people use it. And if something is used, you should probably pay attention to it. What is going on with Luca coming on the show? Yeah, Luca, who's the CEO of Pudgy Penguins and Igloo Incorporated. He was set to come onto the show, but he canceled. And he was doing a lot of shows, and he is he's very much so an introvert. And so we were told that he just was doing too many shows. At the same time, Pengu was also falling like a rock. And I think it was also partly that he was like, dude, I don't want to talk to people right now. I think he was a little sad. So that's it. And, you know, there was a finality to him not coming onto the show in the email they sent. It wasn't rude or anything. It was just like, yeah, we're not going to do the show. Like, okay. He did hop on some other podcasts, though, but those were streamers within the abstract ecosystem. So I think he just like really cut back on how much media he was doing. But I'm going to try to hunt him down in Denver and also in Miami, because they'll definitely be at Miami because that's where their headquarters is for my Consensus. But I'm hoping they're at ETH Denver as well. Because I still like Pengu. I still like Pudgy Penguins. I still think the brand is off. They were on the Good Morning America show this morning, actually. That was kind of funny. What time frame for stock market rolling over? I think you start seeing it this Friday because that's when we get the CPI inflation report. That's it. Should I buy ETH? Do some research and answer that question yourself. I buy a little bit of it every single day. And if it goes down lower, I'll buy even more of it every single day. That's what I'll do personally. Did you ever buy any SNDK? No, I didn't. I'm literally just buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana right now. Am I still playing Pudgy Penguins? Oh, the mobile game? Not really. It's just I'm too busy, man. I'm too busy to like even play games. Today I actually played a few video games. I felt like really nice. I was really pumped about it. But no, I also just haven't found any of their themed events to really kind of draw me in. The last one that I really spent a lot of time on was the Halloween event, and I spent some in the Christmas event, but I didn't really do too much in the Christmas event. The Halloween event was the coolest. Hey, is the Moxie indicator available to be added to TradingView? It is available to be added to TradingView, yes. But you have to buy it from Simpler Trading. But yeah, they allow you to turn it on in TradingView. Do you have any idea how low Tau could possibly dip if we remain bearish? Tau. If it's already hit a bottom, then I don't know. But let's see. Something tells me that Tau has, in fact. Dude, brother, I'm sorry. I have no idea how low Tau could go. I have no clue. Let's see. Any other way to get more price history? Oh, here we go. Actually, I can tell you. Let's see. Let's use our Fibonacci retracement tool. And let me just show you here. So you can see. All right, we're looking at Tau on the daily time frame. And let's see, we broke this level over Fibonacci support. Okay, so that doesn't help us. So let's get rid of this. Bam, bingo, bango, boom. So that is $104. So $104 to $100. Clear area of support. And then you also have, you got to be kidding me. Oh, I was like, is that $69? That can't actually really be 69. That'd be hilarious. It's $70. It's $70, $72. Okay, $72 or so, $70. That's the next clear area of support. And come on. Let me get it. And then $50, $48. So those are the areas you're really looking at for support. But the next major area of support here is 103. But like, you know, this could totally go down to $30. The thing is like Tau has absolutely zero reason to be relevant in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason for BitTensor Tau to be relevant at all. Like it should be one of those coins that just like goes down to the bottom of the chart and never really does anything ever again. My personal opinion. Can you explain why you buy every day and not once a week or once a paycheck? Or like, are you paid on chain daily? I'm not paid on chain daily. I have 4 streams of income. I know I have 3 streams of income right now. I'm working on the 4th one. That'll be fun. But yeah, so I have 3 streams of income outside of investments and things like that. And I just right now I just have a Coinbase daily cost average that I've been meaning to turn off and turn to Kraken, but I just like get lazy and forget about things. But yeah, so the reason why I buy it every single day is because to me, buying 3 coffees isn't a big stretch a day. And so it helps me to manage my own emotions. And I'm buying things that I believe in long term. I believe in Bitcoin long term. I believe it'll be higher than it will be in the future. I believe in Ethereum and Solana long term. I see the future of Wall Street and money and finance moving on chain and choosing Ethereum and Solana. So I feel fine buying them every single day and taking my fiat currency and turning it into something I have faith in and conviction in. And from an emotional standpoint, like I have a big fat stack of stable coins, and I don't feel any emotional itch to like dive into the market with it. Partly because I'm like, oh, I did buy a little bit today. I don't need to follow that emotional pull to like dive into the market right now. You know, it does help, even though it's not like any real percentage of like my net worth, but it helps me know that like, okay, I did buy a little bit today. That's nice. Buying once a week is probably more prudent, but like I have a 10, 20, 30, 40 year time frame in mind for like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So I'm good. I think I'll be really happy having bought at prices anywhere at any of these levels in 10, 15, 20 years. That's just me. What's the name of the game on Abstract that helps you trade? Oh, that was shoot. That was, hang on a second. Let me just log into my Abstract real quick and I'll tell you. I did this last time. Trade Sweeper? Hang on, I'll tell you in just a second. Woohoo! Oh, I'm silver tier 2 now in Abstract because I'm earning points. Hell yeah. Abstract will have a airdrop one day. Where's my wallet? NFTs. The Speed Trader. That was it. It was the Speed Trader game over on Abstract. Do you recommend the Moxie indicator? Does it work in crypto as well? Yeah, I do. I recommend it. I think if you have $500 to spend and invest in getting an indicator that helps you to make more winning trades, yeah, I think it's good. Just know that the indicator isn't perfect. It's not something you should rely on its own. Use it in conjunction with like your other indicators. Perfect example. Let's say you have a long signal on your Moxie indicator and your daily chart stochastic RSI is oversold. Probably a good time to buy, right? Use these things in pairing. Let's see. Set up an auto buy. Like I have my fold card set to buy $20 of Bitcoin every single day. Nice, dude. Nice. I think you'll like that. Do you think Link has any chance to rise to the level of Ether Solana on your conviction scale? So I think Chainlink will always be a thing and will be dominant in the industry in terms of its use case. I just don't see people buying Link and using Link. Like, people buy Ethereum to go and use Ethereum. People buy Solana for, gas fees and transactions to go and use Solana. People aren't really buying Chainlink as much. So like, that to me is like a big driver of conviction, is I see people needing Ethereum and Solana to take advantage of the future of this like on-chain financial world. And I don't necessarily like see everybody needing the token Chainlink. Like that's the reason why my conviction is so much higher in Ethereum and Solana than it is in Chainlink. Despite me, like, I really like Chainlink. I think it's cool. I think it's always going to be the top dog in the Oracle space. I think it's always going to be relevant. I think you're always going to have trade opportunities. I think from a long-term standpoint, yeah, maybe it has a play there. I just don't have that, like, I really believe, like, I'm in it kind of a feeling personally myself. Jay's thoughts on XRP. I think it's a great coin to trade. I don't think it's a great coin to invest in, simply because they're losing to all of their competition. They have a great brand, but the thing is the great brand doesn't help them become a good investment, but it does make it a very good coin to trade. Those are my personal thoughts on XRP without going too much into it. And we could really go into it, but I've done that too much before in the past. Hey, big dog, watch you every day. Sebastian, thanks, man. I appreciate you, dude. What about, I imagine you are asking for, can you lower the background music? Yeah. I think I made it too loud before. There we go, a little bit quieter. What about Filecoin? What does Filecoin's chart look like? What does Filecoin's chart look like? Filecoin. God, I do this every time I look at Filecoin, I remember. Yeah, Filecoin. I mean, I wouldn't touch Filecoin with a 37,000 foot stick. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I love the musics. I mean, there's Filecoin's chart, everybody. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. But I think we're about near the end. Do you see Syrup coming down? Magic, just because we talked to, don't take Alex's XRP thunder. Bearded, you're so right. We'll do one more chart. We'll do Syrup. Do you see Syrup coming down to 16 cents? Ass Magic. Let's take a look. Come on, internet. Let me share my screen. Maple Finance. 16 cents. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. No, hang on a second. Can I get a grip? Yep, there we go. God, I've charted Maple Finance on so many different charts. Wait a second. Huh, wait a minute, that's interesting. Okay, this needs to go away. I'll show everybody on TikTok in a second. Yeah, let's see. We broke above it, held, broke above it, held. Okay, let's go back to the weekly chart here. Oh, yeah. So Syrup, just like Solana, has so much empty space right here. Yeah, it wants to go lower for sure. But how low? How low? That's 16.5 cents. So I think Syrup's definitely going lower. I think 16.5 cents offers a really cool opportunity. If it gets to this range, 16.5 cents, and then the weekly charts, stochastic RSI starts to fill in this oversold territory, you know, that could be the bottom for Maple Finance, because Maple Finance also has a pretty aggressive buyback policy as well. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. Let's see, what's the imbalance indicator? Oh yeah, like we have a fair value gap right here, and we have a fair value gap right here, as low down as 11 cents. There's a fair value gap all the way down at 11 cents. Just FYI, if you are interested in Maple Finance, maybe just placing a buy order at 11 cents could potentially pay off, particularly like 11.5 cents. So maybe you get a little bit higher than that. But that is the show for tonight, everybody. That's all I got for you. And I see ETH buying pocket, please. I don't really have one for Ethereum, but if you get an opportunity to have Ethereum at like $1,500, I think that's pretty good. And Casey, I see you asked, Will, where did you learn to chart and do TA? I learned it from following a bunch of influencers. Data Dash on YouTube, Ivan on Tech on YouTube, Crypto Lark on YouTube, Box Mining on YouTube. I don't know if he makes much content anymore. There are a couple other people I learned from as well. Philicone on YouTube and Twitter. He's a bit of an explosive gentleman. I don't know how stable he is, but he's really good at trading. So yeah, I just learned from like watching a whole bunch of different people. They all had different techniques, and I just kind of picked stuff up and then started trading and investing and kind of reading charts and not putting money in, but like reading the chart and seeing how things go and trying to see what I missed and using indicators and finding my own strategy. So guys, that is the show. I know there are other questions, but again, if you want to ask them and have us get back to you, you can head to rumshq.com. Join the Circle community totally for free. Ask your question and have a whole bunch of people there who can help you too. But that is it for tonight, everybody. It was a fun hour and 15 minutes or so. Hope you all have a great rest of your nights. Sleep well. Wash your face. Put on a moisturizer, non-SPF, maybe even some BHA Paula's Choice chemical exfoliant to close up your pores. Wash your face with soap and water. But if you have something else better, I would recommend La Roche-Posay Gentle Foaming Cleansing Gel. Clean your skin, then moisturize. Get a good night's sleep. Wake up and have an amazing Tuesday. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Do good things. Be good people. Make a bunch of money. See y'all later.